Are you authentically living your best life? So they've done some studies and they've looked at vibration and what allows the body to function at its highest level. And for a long, long time, everyone thought it was love. They thought that, love is the highest vibration and love is the highest calling and love is the way that you can show up as the best version of yourself. And yet what they actually found was authenticity is the key. Living authentically as the best version of yourself. Truly being you, with no mask, with no cover-up, with no exaggeration, just you to the highest level of you. And doing this puts you in a state where your body and your vibration and your cells and everything functions at its highest level. And yet, I personally feel that so much of what is wrong with the world, especially with men, and how they show up in this life, is that they are wearing these masks. They aren't authentically themselves. They are cowed down by society, by life choices, by where they're at. And they hide away and they wear this mask. And it's this slow march to death. And this sad existence of pretending to be someone that you're not. And it's an exhausting existence to show up every day with this mask on and to, hide your words and show up and pretend that you are one way when in fact you truly want to live another way. And I don't think there's anything worse than having to pretend to be someone that you're not. And I think this is part of the problem, that to live our best life, to show up as the best version of ourselves, to lead by example, and to also provide the best life for our friends, for our family, for all those we love and adore, we also need to constantly be showing up as authentically us. If we're showing up as a shadow version of ourselves with this mask on, pretending to be someone that we're not, what hope do we have to be the best version, to be the greatest version of ourselves? And I think part of the problem is that we don't even have the capacity anymore to live authentically as the man we want to be, as the highest order of ourselves. We don't have the capacity anymore. And I think you have to go searching for it. I think you have to release all these associations, all these concepts, and all these ideas of who you should be and how you should act and how you should live your life. And authentically step into who you are. Be silly, be fun, be serious, be outgoing, be shy, whatever. Just be you without the fear of judgment, of consequences, of all that kind of stuff. Just 100% own who you are. And live authentically. But I was having this discussion the other day with someone about it, and we're talking about authenticity and fitness. And I firmly believe that you can't authentically step into who you are without stepping into your fitness. Because you can't step into the highest version of you without stepping into your fitness and your discipline first. And the pushback I got was, well, if you're authentically you, doesn't that mean just doing what you want and feel like? And I'm like, yes and no. Because I think there's too much of an association with things like that. That people are like, oh, well, I'm just going to be authentically me. And authentically me, eats junk food and drinks alcohol and sedates with drugs or social media or TV or alcohol or whatever it may be. And I'm like, but you are not truly authentically you then. Because if you were authentically living out your best life, you wouldn't feel the need to sedate with these things. You wouldn't feel the need to find ways around this, to find ways to shut off from everything that you're doing at the moment, to find a way to escape from your life. And I think it's part of this challenge of truly and honestly stepping into your authentic self. Truly and honestly stepping into the best version of yourself. Because I was having this discussion with a very good friend of mine, and I was like, I feel like a fraud. I feel like a fraud that I'm on here every single day and I'm talking about discipline and focus and drive and how to live your best life and all this kind of stuff. And I feel like I'm not authentically living that life, that I'm not authentically stepping up into the highest version of myself, that I haven't authentically been me, that I talk a big game but I'm not living a big game. And my friend was like, I think that's just your standards. And I was like, most likely, because I have ridiculous fucking standards for myself and how I show up in this world and what I think is an acceptable level. And I'm falling short of those standards right now. And so the question became, why are you? Why are you not doing the things that you know you should do? Why have you not authentically and honestly stepped into the path that you know you should? And got really pissed off, if I'm being honest about it. Not really pissed off, but I got frustrated because they parroted back things that I say to others all the time. And it was one of those of, well, what's holding you back? And if you don't know, and you had to guess, what would you say is holding you back? And as we got into it, and as we got a little bit deeper about it, I realized that the answer is that I am at the point where I could change my whole life. That I could truly elevate to a level and transform every area of my life. And that is fucking scary. That I could actually have everything that I wanted. I could have everything I wanted from this life. Everything I've been dreaming of, everything that I've talked about, everything that I've worked towards. I could have it all within a short period of time if I actually committed to this work, if I actually stood by my standards and stepped up and did what was required. If I could authentically step into the man that I know I want to be, I could have it all. I could have everything that I desire. And isn't the psyche fucking funny? Because that scares the shit out of me. Because, and I've talked about this before, so often we'd rather stay in a known hell than elevate to an unknown heaven. And that's exactly where I was. Well, still am. I'm in the process of processing all of this, of rationalizing it out and working through it. But realizing that I, myself, was holding myself back from everything I want, need, and desire. Because I'm scared of what happens when I reach that point. I'm scared of who I become when I step into that power. I'm scared of what happens when that future becomes a reality. That, how does my life change? How does the people around me change? How does the actions that I want to continue to show up with change? Who do I become with those changes made? And it was and is daunting. And yet I was paralyzed by the fear of success. I was paralyzed by this fear of, how does the world respond when I authentically step into who I am? How does the world change when I honestly and with full courage step forward and go, this is who I am. Like it or not, this is who I am. And I walk the walk. Not just talk the talk. I don't just get on here and talk to you about this stuff. I live that stuff. And it's not to say that I haven't already done more. And as I said, I was talking to this friend about it, and I was like, on the physiological level, I am light years ahead of most people. We're 204 days into this. I haven't missed a beat, but I feel like my workouts are shit at the moment because I do rehab, but that's still part of the course. It's part of what needs to be done. But I feel like I'm a fraud every time I talk about the extra discipline, and I haven't fully successfully been able to give up social media. I haven't fully been able to successfully give up TV, and the little extra snacks that I've been having. Yes, they're still within my eating requisites, but they're more than I want to be. I want to step up, and I want to raise the level of my discipline and my focus and my drive, and I have not been doing it. I have not been that man, and it makes me feel like a fraud. And yet part of that is that resistance, and we talk about resistance. We talk about why that's a problem and why it holds you back. And yet when you get to resistance, when you get to the point that everything in your body and everything in your world is screaming at you that you should stop, it usually is an indicator that you're on the right path and you should actually double down. You should actually go harder. You should actually find another level and push further into it. Because you are on the right path, and resistance will rear its ugly head when you are knocking on that door of heaven, when you're knocking on the door of everything you want, and it will try and sabotage you, and it will speak, it'll whisper words into your ear, because it knows everything about you. It knows your weak points. And these are the points where you have to take courage, and you have to take time and own that resistance, and own the fact that you are worthy of stepping up, that you are worthy of stepping forward and doing this and taking ownership of that life that you've wanted. You are worthy of that. You need to face down that resistance. You need to slay that demon, and you need to win the day. Because yes, you are worthy of that success. You are worthy of achieving those results. But you need to be able to articulate that that's where you are. You need to be able to articulate what is holding you back. You need to have that raw and honest conversation with yourself about what is preventing you from achieving these results, from achieving the life that you want and need. And sometimes they'll be obscured from you, and that's why you need to keep asking the questions. But you need to authentically step into the man you are. and the man you want to be, you need to authentically own that version of you. Because only when you truly and authentically step up into the best version of yourself can you take the power back. Can you take it away from resistance and be like, I am that guy. I am that man. I am ready to own all of this, to be the best version of myself, to take control of everything that has been going on. Only then can you take back the power. But you also cannot achieve the highest level of success until you authentically step into you. For as long as you are wearing a mask, for as long as you are hiding away who you truly are, you won't reach a level of fulfillment. You won't reach a level of satisfaction. You will not reach the life that you want and deserve to have. So you must step forward. So you must take control of this and own it. And be cognizant of where you're at, of who you are meant to be. And you must push forward. And you must label those fears. Because taking off the mask is scary. Taking off the mask and stepping into the man you are meant to be is a scary and daunting moment, and one that many aren't ready to take on. One that many do not have the fortitude to do. It's why we are so drawn to people who are authentically themselves, who are unapologetically them. Because it's rare. It's so rare in this world to find someone who is truly just who they are. No questions asked. Just them to the 9th degree. And until you can take that first step, until you can take that moment and truly step into your power, how can you reach forward? How can you progress forward in this life? So I'll leave that with you. I'll leave that for you to ponder. That you need to label your fears. You need to own that and realize that your fears are what's holding you back from everything you've wanted in this life, and that you can be in control, that you can do what is required. And once you've labeled the fears that are stopping you from becoming that man, you can then take them by the horns, face them head on, and realize that you have nothing to be afraid of. It's just an illusion in your subconscious mind trying to protect you from things that it doesn't need to protect you from. So thank it for trying to serve you this way. And now let it go and move forward into authentically being the highest version of you. Let go of that imposter syndrome. Let go of thinking that you're a fraud, and full force step forward into it. Now, if you're ready to take that first step, if you're ready to authentically take charge of your life, please shoot me a message. Let's get you into chasing greatness, and let's discover who you can truly be on the other side of that. If you're not quite there yet, please click the link in my bio, grab my top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, if you took value from this, if there was something of note, if you feel others could benefit from this, please like, comment, subscribe, help me spread this word. I am here every single day to inspire you and lead by example, and I need your help to get this out there. That's all. Until tomorrow.